Hello and welcome, sixth graders. I told you at the beginning of the year that you needed to use the active voice in your writing, and most of you understood it at that point, but people forget things, and it's easy to forget about things when you're learning so many other types of writing issues and social issues at the same time, and so I figured I'd give you a quick review. This construction is owned by is an example of what's known as the passive voice. Now, the passive voice is a way of saying that something is done to someone by someone else. And it's used in a lot of ways, but most people who use it consciously are trying to shift the blame to someone else. Land doesn't do anything. Kings and lords might do something because these are people and this is a place. And so what we want to do is shift this sentence so that the kings and the lords come ahead of the land. And we're going to do that by taking out this word owned, and we're going to shift the word owned after kings and lords. And we're going to take this land and put it like this. The feudalism system is when kings and lords owned land. That's as fine as far as it goes, but we want to put that comma back in there. Held by vassals is also passive voice. So we're going to change it. But gave some land to warriors and farmers called vassals in return for their loyalty. And actually, because we've got warriors over here, we're going to say fighting ability and loyalty. So that way we're saying that the fighting ability comes from the warriors and that the loyalty comes from both the farmers and the warriors. And the power of this is that we're now saying that the people in this sentence are doing the work. Feudalism became a way of life throughout Western Europe. It lasted for over 1,000 years. We can change this to a comma and this to a gerund, lasting for over 1,000 years. Power belonged to the owner. This is another mysterious construction of the passive voice. We're going to change it to active. The land owners had most of power in medieval Europe. Now we have the same structure here. The landowners had most of the power in medieval Europe. These nobles gave land to vassals so they would protect the farms, fields, and orchards, which are words that we learned when we were learning about medieval manners. Sometimes the vassals were the landowners, so they owned and fought for their own land. And as a result, we've made a much stronger paragraph because people are doing the action in history and not just us. And not the land isn't doing the action.